me knowing that my mum's illness, dis-ease in her body was created from stress.
Early stages, people might not have seen what you do, but I couldn't have done any of it without you.
She ran wound temples. You know, she was known as a prostitute, which is all bullshit, really. Christianity just kind of demonised her. Once you go on a physical massage, you start to understand somebody's emotional way of being. You know, the body basically stores experiences and unconscious experiences. My dad had an affair when my mum was dying. And then ended up marrying her. There's something about the more you do, the more energy you get. You know this, like you start feeding on the energy and that inspires you to keep going.
Hello guys, welcome to the Full Power Podcast with me, Liam Browne. I've got another amazing guest for you today, Joanna Barnes, who does a lot of women's womb work, and it's amazing to chat to her, see her journey. We've been on this journey together for about 6 or 7 years. It's been amazing to see her grow, what she's stepping into her fullest potential. And she's like my sister, and we have a lot of banter together, so this should be a pretty cool episode.
Banter at me.
Banter at you. You ready? Joanna Barnes, welcome to the Full Power Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
Good, this feels weird.
It feels weird?
Yeah.
You feeling woomy though?
Just being sat opposite a table with you is weird.
And chatting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it weird?
Because we've never done this before.
Okay. So what is our relationship to you?
You're my brother.
Yeah.
Already we're getting emotional.
Start emotional.
Yeah, you're like my brother.
Yeah.
So like you said, we probably met like 7 years ago when you taught yoga in Urmston, and I just remember you cycling past, like full of life and joy, and I was like, wow, I want to be his friend. And it's like we'd known each other forever.
Well, I thought I'd known you. I was like, maybe I met her somewhere like leathered back in the day, but it wasn't, was it?
It was just like an instant knowing.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, what happened then? We were just kind of...
We started going to yoga classes together. And then, just started being mates, hanging out, like chatting to each other, chatting through problems, issues, things that were going on.
Yeah.
So it was like, almost like a sounding board for each other in a way.
Well, there was a lot going on for you then.
Yeah, there was a lot going on for me then.
Boy to man period. I'm like, you were trying to discover who you were and what you wanted to do, and it was it was difficult.
Yeah, it was traumatic, but that's what you have to. That's what a lot of people aren't prepared to go through, and I was like just going through it.
Yeah.
Trying to find.
You
what
kept trying to run away, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll see you in 3
I'm
months."
going to Australia. I'm not coming back, Joanna. You'll never see me again. You're gonna have to get over me. And then she was like dead upset, and then she'd go and ask someone, and they'd be like, "No, I'll be back soon." She's like, "Oh God, thank you. I'm so happy."
I really did. I was like, "Please don't leave me. I'm Cancerian. I don't like change." Not good with it.
What did I do it 3 times?
3 times.
3 times I thought I was getting out of here, but
running away from yourself.
I'm like a homing pigeon. I come back to Manchester all the time and come back to you. And then I guess our relationship as well, like I think it was that you just had this thing where when we met, you was like, I need to help you in some way. You wasn't sure what it was. I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
And then I think when we had that, we were mates and we were hanging out and we were going to yoga together. And there was no hadn't made any plans to do anything together, to have a business. You weren't really you was in the holistic world, but you wasn't like wanting to work in it or for it to be your life. You just went for your own as a customer, not as but as a consumer of wellness and holistic for your well-being. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like I was coming back into it. So I've got a daughter, B, who's 16. So when I met you, she was probably only like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So at that time I was like, I was always into holistic well-being, but it was about that time I was getting back into it. So yeah, I wasn't, it was very much a personal kind of, not even growth, but going, okay, I need discipline again. I need to have practices and rituals just for me to feel that I'm getting back to me, not just a mother, but me as Joanna. So yeah, and then you came along and kind of blew up the situation.
So basically, all your positive growth is responsible
well, yeah,
for me.
because you're my best friend. Like,
it's all my fault in a good way. No, I'm joking.
no, but
It's
you
all
really
you.
did. You really did bring a lot of light in my
Yeah.
life at that point, if I'm going to be really like emotive about it. I'm like, you are a beacon of light, and for whatever reason, we crossed paths, and I was like, yeah, I was sent in one of my little branches of trees to help you somehow.
And then the phone call that I had with you, do you remember it?
Yeah.
About the yoga rave event, and I was like, she's got it on the tits. My face is on her left tit, guys. That's me there. That was like was that the first yoga rave we did together?
I don't know.
I don't know which one it was, but we did.
Space at the Mill.
That's Space at the Mill, and I'd been doing this yoga rave thing, and I was like, oh, Joanna, like this could be something massive. Like I feel that it's my kind of one of my purposes. I feel really natural that I don't think there's many other yoga teachers that can do what I've just done, and I need someone to support me with it. And you was like, I'll do it, and I was like, oh right. And I was just using you as a voicing board, because we did that for each other, like issues that I was got, and you went, I'll do it, and I was like, oh, that wasn't on my mind when I had the phone call with you. And then you kind of took care of like the organisation, and then we started Stone Cold Sober. So how did that kind of initial bit of that feel for you?
Exciting. Exciting. I felt like your pimp. Yeah, there was no like question
Spiritual
for me,
pimp.
because I guess for me, I'm like a bit. You made me more extrovert. I'm a bit of an introvert, extrovert, and here you come along and like, you know, you've got energy now, but the amount of energy you had then was like, it was insane. You literally just bounced around like Tigger. And I was like, yeah, well, there isn't anyone else that could do this like you. And for whatever reason, I felt like I could trust you in business, even though, like you said, we'd never talked about it. I was like, actually, your morals and ethics were similar to mine. And a lot of that was actually having fun. But we were hardworking, and I saw that in you, and I was like, okay, I think it's gonna be.
And I saw that in you. Like, I can only work with grafters, and like, you know, because you're from Oldham and it's so deprived there.
Stop
like,
it! Stop it!
You can work hard. No, but do you know what I mean?
You'll start weaving in all these.
I'll drop in a bit of Oldham. Like, well, you know, it's them working class roots of being around people that actually do physical work and can actually get at something and put the hard work in, and not be like, oh, it's too much. It's like snowflakes. It's like, oh, I can't handle that right now. It's like you can push yourself beyond your limit, and I've seen you do it a lot. Do you know what I mean? In the last few years, and that's the sort of people that I want to work with. It's like, yeah, you just got to sometimes push a little bit harder to get the extra bit of success. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people are just not prepared to make that little push, and that's what I saw in you, and I think that's what you saw in me, that I just could go at it.
This belief, I felt like we were both seekers. I felt like you were a seeker, but the belief was, how can I push my limitations? And I couldn't have done that with anyone else, actually, because you're unstoppable. Especially, like you say, especially when we're putting on events and stuff, it's like, we'd rather do it ourselves than hand it over. But that's maybe a little bit of control freak as well.
But that's what I say to people is like, all that early stages, people might not have seen what you do, but I couldn't have done any of it without you, because that's the bit that I don't like, the organisation, the bringing people in. It's like, I just want to be there and do the thing and be able to express myself that way, because all the other stuff kind of bogs me down. And then obviously we started Stone Cold Sober, which was the business that we created, which was got to go and take these yoga raves on tour all around the country in venues everywhere, and then COVID come in after our first event, didn't it? Like the day after our first event, we were like, oh, what do we do? Like, what's got to go on? Because we couldn't get any venues. Like, we wanted to still do it.
Yeah.
And we were just like, no, that won't let us do it there. They won't let us do it there. And we were like, okay, we just have to put that on the back burner for a little bit. And then I started doing the yoga raves, and then I was doing the yoga in the park, and I was still doing all these little things that I probably wasn't supposed to be doing. Well, we weren't supposed to be doing them, and then we put on the yoga raves, and the councils tried to shut us down, and we just kept going, and they were like packed still, weren't they? Like, remember that one we did at Hallam Mill?
Yeah.
And there was like 70 people there, and nobody was supposed to be out of the houses, and everyone's just come, had this yoga rave, and was like live DJs and all the different DJs that we worked with, the illegal raves we were putting on in like buildings in Cheetham Hill and stuff, and it's like rebellion. It was fun, wasn't it? It was like
fearless. We were fearless.
Yeah.
It was kind of anarchic in a way. I liked it.
And there's so many people since then that have said them hearing about what we were doing and coming to our event inspired them to do their events. Like so many people that I've met and even the yoga raves, like, and the two banger dance parties.
So you forget all that.
Yeah.
So we were like, we were just finding another way in. So we said, well, we can't do it out there.
Yeah.
So why don't we just pimp you on Facebook?
Yeah. Just dance every night.
Wherever you go, we'll film you. And it was literally every night, wasn't it? 6 o'clock.
Every night for 80
and I was
something
sharing
days.
you, like in my house, just sharing you like across the globe. Like loads of people saw that. So we were like, okay.
It's getting like thousands and thousands of hits, weren't they?
Yeah, but we didn't give up. We were like, well, how else can we get that business out there? Because we were trying to seek something alternative, an alternative way of earning money, really, as well.
Yeah,
in
but
something that we loved,
providing a service for people. And I think that's when like we started the yoga retreats, because people were like, you need to do a retreat. I was like, oh, okay, can't organise it, Joanna.
Yeah.
Okay, right, sweet, I can do a retreat. And then we put on the retreat, and it was like when that heavy duty lockdown happened, and we lost all the people that were supposed to be coming on it. And we still did it, and we smashed it. And then we realised that actually what we put together was something really, really special, because of the effect that it had on people afterwards, where they were just like my life's changed since that retreat.
Yeah, I just don't know any other retreat like that still.
Yeah, or festival.
Because
we then went on and did a festival. Why we did a festival, I don't know, because it was like.
But that's you. You would make a comment, and I'd go okay.
Well, because I was getting pissed off with festivals booking me, and then the festival would get cancelled. I was like, fuck this, let's do our own festival, because then it won't get cancelled, because we got balls.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'll sort it.
Yeah, because you got balls.
Yeah.
Massive balls.
I guess you can't think about it for too long, otherwise we wouldn't have done it. That's what I enjoyed, the spontaneity of belief that anything's possible.
Or when you'd ring me falling apart, and I'd be like, it's all good, don't worry, we've got this.
Yeah, so
and then you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
You'd be galvanised.
Yeah. I needed that.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot.
Yeah.
To put on a festival.
Festivals, man, like like loads of festivals this year have been cancelled, and this is their last year for lots of them as well. And I think a lot of people don't realise just what goes into organising a festival, especially a small festival, because you haven't got a massive team, and you're putting on this thing. And like for us, we were like, I can't do that again. But then you'd get to the last 2 days of the festival, and everybody's lit up, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is life changing. Everybody needs to experience this. And you kind of go, oh, maybe it was worth it, because actually when you look at it on a spreadsheet, and you've earned £700 for putting on a festival that's took you 6 months to organise.
A year.
Well, yeah, and then you've got this, you're working full time on it for like the last 2 weeks, and then like 20 hours a day almost during the festival, and you're holding space, and you're sorting out problems, and you've got your hand down a toilet clearing shit out of it, and you've earned probably less than 10p an hour. Probably not even that. No. And it's like, it takes a lot, and then, it was, but they were both the festivals that we put on were beautiful.
And can we just say, like, neither of us had any experience
No.
Like,
no. When we were
in
ringing
terms of
people,
event management.
we were ringing people to ask them like for a little bit of help. She was like, my daughter's currently at university doing a 4-year study of events management. We were like, all right, probably we're more experienced than her now from actually putting 2 festivals on and all the events that we've put on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should train people in events management.
No.
Okay, no.
No, thank you.
£25,000 for a 1-day course.
Well, I actually had to pay a couple of people because I knew nothing. I was like, oh, okay, it's quite important to know health and safety and all that kind of stuff. Who can I ask? And we had to pay people to get that information.
Mafia.
Yeah, like other. I don't know, like
Festival mafia.
But looking back now, I go, wow, we really just once we're in it.
Yeah,
There was no going back.
I remember when we looked at that site and she was like, have you got the and we were like, it was like she was speaking in a different language.
It was medicine festival.
Yeah, and we didn't have any, like, have you got this? We were like...
We were just trying to keep...
Like, yeah, just nodding. Just write that down, Joanna, we need to get one of them. Just wing it.
Let's not go to that side.
But that's what puts people off, because some people go, I've got to have all this in place before I do the thing. Whereas I was like, I'll do the thing and then I'll see what I need. Because if I do the thing and then someone comes in and goes, you shouldn't have been doing that without that and that and that and that and that, then I'll go and get that.
But that's what I mean. I couldn't have done that with anyone else because you hold that kind of fearlessness. And I just trust in you that it'll all be okay. For whatever reason, everything has always been okay. We've never lost any money. And again, festivals, it's unheard of for festivals to make £700 each.
Woo!
Most festivals actually lose money in the first 3 years.
Yeah.
We never lost a penny.
No, we didn't lose money, but then if you think about it, what you would get as a decent hourly rate, you kind of...
I know, but we never went into it for that. It was like you said, it was the magic.
Well, we went into it thinking we were going to make loads of money.
Well,
and if we hadn't gone into it like that, it wouldn't have driven us to do it. And actually you go, what? Because even when we were doing the retreats, and I was like, you know, this first one, we're probably not going to make much money, but it's... people would pay for this experience, do you know what I mean? Like, what we were learning about putting events on, managing people, all the different elements of it, the food, the catering, the organisation, the scheduling. It was like, we just learn it on the job, which is the way I like to learn.
Yeah, I wasn't a chef either, but I was the chef on a retreat.
The chef. What else was you like? Everything.
I was the back end.
The back end. So I'm the front end of like a pantomime
cow.
A pantomime cow. You're the back end. That's not a good place to be with me.
Oh God, yeah. Well.
But I think what the most amazing thing is, like, your growth within that, as you facilitating and you going on your path and doing the things that you've been doing. So talk us through the start of that and what made you first step into doing stuff on your own and with the people that you were doing stuff away from me. Bastard.
Because it's hard. It's hard to see that when you're on the journey yourself. Because I wouldn't say there was any kind of profound moment. It's all been so organic and just the way it's supposed to have been. So obviously we were working together, and probably around about that time, age-wise, I would have been kind of early 40s maybe. Felt on top of the world. I was like, oh my God, like in terms of yoga, I felt the strongest I'd ever been. We were practicing loads. I was like, felt incredible as a woman at that age. And then it started to kind of decline. Getting more tired. Physically, things got harder, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Why is that happening? And so again, seeking and wanting to know answers. How are other women feeling? What are they feeling at this age? And that kind of set me on a journey of understanding just the different stages of womanhood. You know, you feel invincible when you're younger. And so then starting to study the breath, so becoming a breathwork facilitator. Again, not ever thinking I'm going to then facilitate anything, just wanting to know. started to then have lots of conversations with another friend of ours called Lisa Cormode, who ended up DJing for us. She became a really close friend. And we just started talking about what is it to be a woman, and what is it to be a woman kind of in their 40s, early 40s.
Yeah.
What does that mean when you're not kind of a new mother anymore? And how can you grow old gracefully? Like, how can I still be as full of vitality as Di? Like, I always look to Di and go, wow, like, what an incredible woman to live life fully the way she does. I want that.
Yeah.
And yet around me I'd see women really struggling. So from there, Lisa and I were like, well, why don't we just put on a women's circle, which is kind of a thing that's happening a lot now. But I go, there must have been something in the feminine air where women were like, right, how do we discover things for ourselves now?
Yeah.
So we just started putting on circles in Lisa's living room.
Okay. So that's the first thing, the first, right,
very
first step.
tentatively for me, because I'd not done anything like that before, or studied 1,000 hours of yoga or anything like that. I was going, all I'm bringing is my life experience.
Well, you probably had done 1,000 hours of yoga by practice.
Yeah, maybe, but I hadn't got the certificate.
Got a certificate, I'm a really good teacher. No, it doesn't mean anything, does it?
I was like, well, what happens if I just bring me and me for who I am right now? Like, nothing more. I go, what happened where you could just say that you were an expert in one thing? You know, now it's like, right, well, I'm a Cacao facilitator, I'm also a yoga teacher, and, you know, like, the lists are endless now, aren't they? I was going, well, I'll just be me and see where it goes from there. And so that started to build up, and we would get more and more women interested to come to these circles, and it was literally practices, rituals, everything that I'd be doing for myself, sharing that for other women and seeing how that was for them and getting the feedback. So then it becomes like a co-creation and just again learning on the job and going from there, what else do I want to train, what else do I want to study? So that kind of led me to womb work, and I actually don't even know how. I just started hearing about it and reading up on the, you know, in ancient times, even when you look back to Mary Magdalene and Jesus, she ran womb temples. You know, she was known as a prostitute, which is all bullshit, really. Christianity just kind of demonized her. So I kind of got interested in all that and going, well, what was it like when the feminine spirit was revered? Like, what secrets did women know? Like, so it's all that kind of remembering and coming back to your intuition and working with the womb itself as a creative, deeper understanding of self. Which can end up sounding a bit woo-woo, so I won't go into that, but...
Well, we will go into it more in a bit, but before we get really into the womb bit, which is, for me, like, the main bit of this podcast is the womb and the perimenopause, menopause, the women's thing, so there's probably be a lot of men listening to this what might tune out when the womb stuff comes in. But, so, you've put on a women's circle, and then you've sort of started exploring the womb, you've done breath work, but in those women's circles, going back to your past and upbringing, what's happened? Has it made it easier having been through what you've been through, whatever it was as a child? What do you think gave you a depth to be able to support women in that situation from your life? What was your life like, kind of like before that?
Good question. Well, you would understand this. Lives in my mum. And
have you looked for her?
She's dead.
So's mine.
She's double dead.
Double dead.
Yeah, I would relate it back to that, because I lost my mother when I was 17, but she was poorly from being 11, from when I was 11, so I actually don't really remember my mum being well. and having a daughter. So that kind of lineage of, again, looking at my health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mum actually died at 49. I'm 49 this year. So I'm like, great, I've got past that.
Not yet.
Well, it was May.
I've got a suit
it was
ready.
May, so I'm all right.
Oh, was it? All right, well done. Well done. You beat her.
So I guess I was going, oh my God, as I was getting older, I went, like, you know, when I was 17, I was going, gosh, everyone else going, she was so young. Well, it didn't feel young to me at 17.
Yeah. Because you think people are ancient. When you're 17 and someone's 49, you're like, well old.
Well, then in your 40s, you start going, oh shit, like, that's really young.
Yeah.
And me knowing that my mum's illness, dis-ease in her body, was created from stress and held emotion and not expressing what she wanted, not getting what she wanted. She stayed stuck in a situation that was really, really unhappy for her. You know, with my dad having affairs and things, but that created the dis-ease in her body. And I was going, oh, well, that's interesting. So I've always been fascinated to know why that happened to my mum.
So that's been a motivator and a driver in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Because I feel like with my mum, that was when we first started doing the yoga raves. It was like I wanted to empower, inspire.
Yeah.
I wanted to empower women
Yeah.
to be who they're supposed to be and not put up with situations that are not serving them, or being in relationships that are not serving them.
Okay, so similar, but mine was more. I saw my mum's unhappiness, and I'm like, I don't want. It's not what life's about. I want to be really happy and live life to the fullest. So that was the driver, without me knowing. It was not conscious.
But it's conscious now.
It is conscious now.
Yeah. But it takes a while, doesn't it?
And then on the flip side, wanting B, to see a mother full of joy and vitality as she's growing up. I didn't want her to mirror me in any way. Like, I wanted her to be the strongest woman that she could be when she was growing up. And I really feel now that B's 16, I'm like, I can start to see that, which is, you know, it's making me proud to watch how she's blossoming. So yeah, either side was a driving force now upon reflection.
And what was in the middle?
Me?
No, but I mean, like what was in the middle of, like, what was, you know, because you was a fashion buyer, you was all over the world, you was earning quite good money, you was doing well for a woman from Oldham. Sorry.
Just ignoring it. You know, we forget you from within show, don't we?
This is all banter, by the way, guys. No, but do you know what I mean? You was successful. In a lot of people's eyes, you were successful, but was you happy at that time when you was doing all that?
No, I nearly had a nervous breakdown. Probably 39, I left because I was like, fuck this, I can't do this anymore.
And what was your job? What was it?
So a fashion buyer, very corporate, very money driven, margin driven, but all for the bottom line.
Yeah.
And when you're starting to understand the intricacies of capitalism in that way and consumerism, it just gets more and more greedy.
Yeah.
And you know, arguing over why you haven't got 0.1% of a margin because the board said that's what you'd put in for. No, and I started to feel like I was on a treadmill and just going round and round like Groundhog Day. And I think I knew it was never right for me. But again, going back to my mum was proper working class. She worked in a mill, you know, she was not financially independent. And I remember her saying to me, don't ever rely on the man because that was her situation. She didn't feel like she could get out of there. So I was like, right, shit, I better, like, you know, do the right thing, go to university and get the first job in an office that I can. Because I didn't know what else to do.
Otherwise I'll get ill and die.
Yeah, maybe. Or, no, it's more the financial side at that point. Like, I've got to support myself, And losing your support system, your kind of unconditional
because you didn't have your mum or your dad then?
No, my dad had an affair when my mum was dying.
Yeah.
and then ended up marrying her. We used
Yeah.
to see him go off in a black cab when my mum was in the other room.
You know.
Bye, Dad.
Have fun. Have a good night.
So that was not good after my
Yeah.
mum died. But I mean, we talk about this a lot. We wouldn't be us without that experience, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to life than this. What am I just not knowing? What am I not seeing right now? And I actually still feel that now. I go, we're entering a new paradigm of how to earn money.
Yeah.
We're just not. I'm not quite seeing it yet, but I can feel a shift as we kind of navigate away from all the systems that really don't work anymore and haven't served us. But I go, I understand the older generation. All you know is what you think is best for your children.
Yeah.
And I guess we're on that precipice now of going, well, what's best for our children? What can we see that they don't quite see yet?
Yeah.
So, about 39, I was like, I need to
So what was
get out here.
How did you get out then?
Just a course of bad management.
Yeah.
And then me finally speaking my truth and going, I need to leave.
Yeah.
And they went, when? I went, now. And they're like, okay. But that was empowering because I'm an introvert. I'd never spoken up before. So I was like, oh shit, I can actually say what I want and still be okay and walk away.
Yeah. So 39, 10 years ago, got out of the corporate world. Then, so how did you then support yourself since then?
I was like, what do I do now? Shit. Well, I still know fashion. I'll just go freelance. I'll style. So I got into fashion styling, which was great for me. Having worked in an office every single day, I was like, woo! What, I can earn money and have time and
Meet people.
And you're not quite in any business. You can kind of step in, have a really lovely day, really nice conversations, and then bye. You don't kind of get involved in any of the politics, which I do still love, and I do still do that. So yeah, it was the balance that gave me balance of life.
But you are looking to transition fully over into your holistic stuff.
Yeah.
For anybody who might be hearing Di snore in there, Di is snoring in there. Can we give her a little dig? We should probably include this. So Di's got in the living room to listen to the conversation, and she's fell asleep and she's snoring. Go wake her up, Joe. Go and tell her to go upstairs. Di! You're snoring. So where was we?
I don't know.
So, yeah, let's go back to then the journey. So you started putting on women's circles, you've trained in breath work, you've started doing the womb stuff, and then what's been going on while you've transitioned into? When did you realise, like, oh, the womb's my thing, like that's what I want to work?
2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago.
And what was
started training with 2 different teachers.
Yeah.
In terms of understanding it energetically, physically, and spiritually. So there's a woman in the UK I was training with, and a woman in Australia. And it's a spiral. Once you enter, you're like, oh, okay. What? It just keeps going. What don't I know? What could I know? What don't I know? What could I know?
Yeah. And but what is it? What if for like an idiot's like paragraph or sentence, like what is womb healing?
So what I do is it's a physical massage.
Yeah.
So most people would know what an abdominal massage is and know that your digestion and that your energy center is right in the center of you. And if that is not clear, and if you have, I don't know, it could be digestive issues, it could be, you know, you got like you're holding everything in your gut. On a physical level, if you massage that, it helps to clear it. But once you go on a physical massage, you start to understand somebody's emotional way of being. You know, the body basically stores experiences and unconscious experiences. The body doesn't know the difference between an experience you had when you were 4 or 5 to one
Something
that
you've made up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just remembers that feeling and it will store it, and it will repetitively store it. So it's kind of following the line of Chinese medicine, so that each organ carries a different energy, emotional, I guess, a deeper understanding. So I work with women on a one-to-one, and it could be that they're having fertility problems, or they are disconnected. They're just totally disconnected from their kind of sexual self. So it's so multi-layered. They come in thinking they're having a physical massage, and they walk away going, oh my God, we've just totally realised it was my mother's mother.
Yeah.
Like they start having visions. So the womb itself holds and stores so much wisdom, as well as kind of knowledge of your mother's line. So if you think when a baby, a female baby, is in her mother's womb, she's already carrying her eggs, like 3 million eggs. So on an energetic line, you literally have got 3 generations in one pregnancy.
Right. Okay.
Well, that DNA and that energy, we know this. If a mother carries a baby and she's like, you know, not having a good experience or has a traumatic birth, that can actually go into the emotional state of that child.
Well, and the relationship they're in during the pregnancy. If it's
Right.
like, if they don't feel secure, if there's violence, all that's going. People think, oh, it's sort my shit out when the baby comes. It's like, no, sort your shit out before the baby comes into you.
Yeah, but we're not that great in the West at understanding all this.
But I think it's coming. Like people
It's
are learning
coming.
that, because that is when the child is the most receptive and grows the most, learns the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's multi-layered because I work with sound as well. So I work with frequency. So physical massage, frequency, so like tuning forks, or just a bowl, because we know that sound is effective within water. So we're like, it can change the state of water. We're made up of 70% water. So if you can create sound in someone's body, it can help kind of move just stagnant energy. If you can help your body to flow way more effectively with your energetic body, how much better would you feel? How much better would your relationships be? How much better would your diet be? It kind of starts to filter out. And I've had women that I've continually seen, say, on a 6-month basis, and they've either got pregnant if they're on a fertility journey, or their whole being and the way their outlook on life, it completely changes. And even on a basic level, you're nurturing a woman for 2 hours that either might not have even had any kind of touch for a long time, or doesn't feel like they're supported because they've got busy lives. So it's amazing for me, because I feel like I have that kind of nurturing quality anyway. If I can make a woman feel safe to kind of be herself, that's like an incredible celebration for me.
Exactly. That's the service, isn't it?
That's the service again. Yeah. So that's the one-to-one stuff, but you can work with the womb in circle. So when I do retreats now, we work with movement to get into the energetics of the womb. It's a little bit like there's a lot of words out there. They call them mystery schools, or the School of Feminine Arts. And it kind of is a mystery. You kind of introduce these practices, and the energy of women together. Wow, it's powerful. It's magic, and they're all feeding off each other. And ultimately, again, it's to come back to vitality, joy, and love. I go, if I can show women those 3 things, and I can show them those 3 things, no matter what age they are, no matter what's going on in their life, then that fills me up. Yeah, and it's never ending. So I'm about to, with the massage, I'm about to go and train in Australia and bring that back to the UK. And
so train to be a trainer?
Train to be a trainer.
Go on.
And I never, that was never in my plan or path, but I go, that's the magic of the womb. That literally has come my way because I feel like I'm more open now and more surrendering to what can be and what's to come.
Yeah. And what does the full transition into that look like for the future, do you reckon?
For how I live my life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Economically, spiritually, day to day.
That I can have time and money.
Yeah.
Travel, get to travel with my work. Travel means a lot to me. And just keep supporting women and understanding women. I'll be forever the student as well. I'm so into it that I'm like, what else can I learn now? What else can I?
And to understand women.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I'll come.
You're getting there. You're getting there. I've seen you develop.
Yeah, totally. We'll actually, we'll talk about that in a little bit because that's it's. I don't see it, but you've seen it over the years. But in terms of we've not even talked about the Menopause Festival yet. No. So for me, in the last sort of 4 years, you've kind of been quite relentless in putting on events, using the skills that we've built, using your drive, your passion, but also your work ethic, which is a lot of people don't have that, especially in the spiritual community. It's snowflakes who can't do a day's work. It's like, the energy's not quite right today for me to move that thing over there to there. I'll have to wait till it's aligned. It's like, just fucking move the thing, man. Do you know what I mean? And you're just the mover of the thing, and that's why I can only work with people like that. So putting on a festival again, why? Why did you put on another festival?
Oh no! 1 year we did Stone Cold Sober, we did a yoga retreat, and then decided to put on a menopause festival and all my wild women stuff.
So the wild women thing, we've not even touched on. What's the wild women?
So that's with Lisa. So I did mention about Lisa before, and starting the circles with her. So that business, it became a business called the Wild Women. So we still do workshops and circles, but we've also transitioned into retreats. We've just been on a retreat in Portugal for 6 days with 10 beautiful women, and courses. So it just all these things just keep evolving, and I'm open to it. But yeah, I'm like, how did I manage to do all that? I feel like now I'm starting to slow down and actually go, what is it for me? There was a period where I was collaborating with you, collaborating with Lisa, collaborating with Tammy, who I do
Paulina.
And Paulina, we did the sound healing. I'm like, wow, I was unstoppable.
Yeah.
But there's something about the more you do, the more energy you get. You know that it's like you start feeding on the energy, and that inspires you to keep going. And it would have been Stone Cold Sober. I was like, I've just done a big festival. Well, putting on another festival, it was nothing.
What's a menopause festival then?
So a menopause festival came from my experience in chatting to other women and going, okay, there's this general, everyone's talking about the menopause now, but the only way we're talking about it is all the negatives and how hard it is, and we need to talk about it in the workplace. So all those things I get, but it all felt very down and dark and negative. And I was like, what about all the positives? What about actually that you start to speak your voice and start going, well, what can I get rid of in my life?
Yeah.
Actually, it's really empowering, this stage of a woman's life. It's
like clearing.
You got a total clear and a purge and going, let's get rid of all the shit. what is it that I want? What is
Yeah.
it that I need? And this beautiful kind of transition back to the truth of your connection as a woman to everything around you, to nature, to relationships, to it all.
Yeah.
Back up to, you know, the divine and all that, like the real source of the truth. So I really wanted to show, and yeah, I'm back on going back to Stone Cold Sober. We'd started to meet so many amazing people, so many amazing facilitators, a lot that you're gonna interview, and I'm like, wow, our whole world opened up to, all these incredible people.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, there was a lot of women in there, and a lot of women that empower other women, and a lot of women that have different modalities and different, I guess, their expertise on how they work with women. And I wanted to then bring all that knowledge and all that level of expertise into a menopause festival and going, look, here's support that you don't know is out there. Look at all the other ways that you can work with the menopause that are really joyful. But it isn't as well just about HRT. I feel like HRT has become...
What's HRT?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Okay.
Which is bandied about now.
I thought it was the high-speed railway.
Isn't that HSR?
I don't know. I was like, where are they trying to get to?
Did you really?
All these women, I did it when you first said it. I was like, where are they going?
Oh my god.
So
If you don't know,
No. HRT. Sorry. Hormone
replacement
therapy.
So what happens to women is you basically, your hormones are lowering to the point you can't have children anymore.
Right, okay.
And our parents, our mothers and grandmothers didn't really talk about it. Because also back in the day, you probably would have been put in the psych ward for going a bit crazy.
Right, okay.
So it's a struggle. A lot of women struggle with it because hormone fluctuation can be heavy duty with how it makes you feel mentally, emotionally. It can shift your whole thought pattern. So I wanted to kind of show that there was help, but also to celebrate it. So basically put on this weekend in Hebden Bridge with about 30, 40 facilitators over the weekend, but everything from Chinese medicine, herbalism, breath work, naturopath, nutritionists, yoga, different ways of moving your body, so that women felt like they weren't alone, lost, or that they didn't have a choice or options. Because a lot of, again, knowing how to deal with this transition, we've just forgotten. Because the medical system goes, here, put a plaster.
So is that what HRT is? Is HRT what the medical system would prescribe you?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, in lots of different formats.
Yeah.
And I'm not discrediting that, by the way, because I took it in the end because I didn't know any other way. Yeah. But maybe that's why I put on the festival as well, because I was like, there's got to be other ways.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Got to figure it out. And actually, what don't we know? What don't we know? So I guess it's always having that inquisitive mind of, what are we not being told? What would our ancestors have known about that we've forgotten? You know, when you deal with things like herbs.
Yeah. Everything we need in the forest, in the forest, isn't it?
We'll drink a chamomile tea and go, well, that's soothing and cleansing. Yeah. What don't we know for women? So I did that for 2 years, but we've took a year off this year. Yeah. I needed to reset because it was a lot. It was a lot for 3 years.
What's the difference between perimeno and menopause? I can only say perimeno in a Brummie accent for some reason.
So perimeno is all the lead up to it, so the fluctuations in hormones, which can actually last nearly, about 10 years. A lot of women don't even know it's happening.
And then menopausal is like you've completed it.
Yeah.
You get a certificate.
Don't have any bleeds anymore. Okay. Stop your cycle.
But is that menopausal section lasts longer than just stopping the bleeds, or is everything good after you've
Menopause is just
stopped
the
bleeding?
word for if you've not had a bleed for a year.
Okay.
Some doctor somewhere went, right, we'll call that menopause.
Probably a man.
Yeah.
Starts then, finishes then. You're
That's
done.
what I mean. That's
Get on with it now.
That's the goal. There where we are. Very linear. Because, that's bullshit because you can carry on. But menopause is, and then you have post-menopause. So your
So
life...
it can last like 20 years?
And keep going.
Right, okay.
But I think men go through
Midlife
something.
crises.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a
We
Porsche.
just don't talk about that either, do we? Because your testosterone starts to drop.
Yeah.
But just at a slower rate.
That was chilled me out the last couple of years.
I think so.
Oh, great.
Yeah, chilled.
So yeah, like with the womb trainings of people, so where are you going to be putting them on and stuff? So you've got to do the training in Australia.
Yeah, bring it back. First one is November.
All right, straight on it.
Straight on it. And
where's that?
In Manchester. I know.
Manchester, centre of the wombiverse.
Yeah. There, and then hopefully I'm like, well, where else?
Yeah.
Spain,
Paris.
Europe. Just keep going.
Go on a world tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Brilliant.
Everything's possible.
You can smash it. If anyone can, you can. So what do you think your sort of evolvement is going forward? You like as a human being, like your journey, where do you see it taking you? Is it just like focusing on the womb 100% and all the offerings and the trainings, or is there other stuff that you want to do?
For now, yeah, because I feel like we've just been talking about, I put on so much. I'm like, I want to bring it back to that. Oh, women's work, and build up from there.
Yeah.
But also putting me at the front. You know, that's an evolution. I've always surrounded myself, you included, with people that find it easy to talk or find it easy to be. You know, we've always said this, I'll just put you on stage because you love it and you vibe off it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd be like, remember that time I did a talent show when I was 7 and I couldn't remember anything and I just kept repeating it. So I feel...
So that's the trigger, that's the thing you got to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I don't have to rush anything, and I'm doing it, and I'm proud of myself.
Because I was always trying to push you, like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And you were like, oh, I'll do that one, but I won't do that one.
Yeah, because
I'll do that one with somebody, but I won't do that one on my own.
Yeah, but I go, you can only do it when you're ready, can't you?
Yeah.
And if you get pushed, it just pushes you in the other direction. Plus, if you're with other people that kind of you're in awe of, and you kind of, we all have your friends around you that you go, wow, they're amazing. Well, then I'd almost put them a bit higher up than myself and go, well, I'll just help you.
Yeah.
I'll help you rise. And I know I'm really good at that. I'm like, right, Liam, I'll help you. I'm like, well, no, it's time for me now.
And what's it been like observing the full power journey from afar? Well, not from afar, you've been part of it, really.
Yeah, amazing. So proud of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you growing within it as well as a person has been the most beautiful thing to watch. Like, and never shying away from being better and better as a man. That's been the best thing for me. So, business aside, I'm like, I'd never ever had any doubts that you would be successful or make it how you wanted to make it. Like, I was like, yeah, of course, yeah. You go, am I going to be a millionaire? Yep. Yes, you are. We're going to have a private jet? Yes. Yes. It's you evolving as a beautiful man. That's been amazing to watch.
It's ditto. Watching you grow and like just knowing whatever you do, you're gonna smash it, and just but not push you too much because you like doing things in your own time.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it now, and you're like, oh, just Yeah.
No, because you've told me I'm stubborn.
Stubborn, yeah. But you just got to do it at your own pace. But the fact that you're determined and you're hardworking, and now you've found that thing that you want to do, like, smash it.
Thank
Easy.
you.
Yeah. Happy days. Anything else you want to share? Any questions you've got? Oh, let's talk about cacao in terms of its benefits for women, because it's always better coming. You're a woman specialist. It's probably, we won't have another show where the word woman's been said as much as today. So talking about talking about women and how cacao benefits women, I think is important, because when I say it, it doesn't have as much clout as when you would say it.
I don't know, because we didn't know this, did we, when we first started to drink it daily, I guess. And I was like, I started asking questions, you going, how my heart feels softer. Like, one of the main symptoms, I guess, for women through menopause is anxiety and spiking cortisol levels. So your kind of stress receptors, when you wake up in the morning, it can spike right up, and you might have lost sleep throughout the night, and it basically carries on throughout the day.
Right.
So caffeine, it literally just aggravates. So most women kind of joke, going, I can't have Yorkshire tea anymore. I could only have Earl Grey, me included, because it just feels gentler on the system. And when I started having cacao, I was like, wow, actually, it calms me down straight away. The even just taking the time to make it, the meditation of making it was really beneficial to my whole being. And I was like, I'm not getting the spikes anymore. Literally was soothed from the morning. And it was a massive change. And that's not just me talking about that. That's a lot of other women we knew. Because I would ask all them, I'd be like, right, are you menopausal? Have you found cacao?
Would you talk to people that weren't menopausal?
No,
Oh,
they're
good.
not in my group.
Yeah, no.
Not in my tribe.
Move on.
But I think
she does, by the way.
But what ingredients are in it? You'd have to remind me.
The magnesium and the iron's probably the biggest thing for women.
Well, those two
depletion.
things. So the magnesium helps you sleep, and the iron. A lot of women become iron deficient during perimenopause, and I don't know why, but they just do, and that creates like so much tiredness. So again, they might have caffeine that spikes them, and then they just feel even more shit.
Yeah.
But the bliss molecule, it's to do with that, and the fact that
the anandamide.
And the fact that cacao is feminine and it feels feminine, that it's that returning back to connecting with nature.
Cacao, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the oxygenation of the brain, because for a lot of women going through that, the brain gets like, it's almost like stuck in a way. It's cloudy. It's like this cloud that comes upon the brain. So it's like the oxygenation of the brain is clearing that fog, allowing you to have a little bit of peace from the fucking
chatter.
Yeah, the shit that's going on in your head. So that's what the cacao does and supports people through. And
the fact that you and Paulina bless it. That's the biggie. Because that's why it tastes so different.
Talk us about that. Why is that? Because I tell people about that, and a lot of people think it's bullshit. But what does it mean to you?
I guess it's hard for people to understand because we don't work in energetics, do we? Because it's untangible, and that's quite masculine in itself, isn't it? But just understanding everything around us is energy. And I'm only just learning that, but say, for example, every living being has the Fibonacci spiral. So, and coming back to grounding yourself. So when you and Paulina bless it, I mean, Paulina's like...
An angel.
She's an angel. And her powers, I've never met anyone like her powers to connect in with energy, with divine, and bring that through her as a channel to connect with the cacao. So I go, she's basically like a walking Reiki system. Just
pushing the God particle into the cacao and pushing in what everybody needs.
Yeah. And I've been there when you and Paulina have blessed it, and we were all in the room and in the office, and we all feel it. And at some point, sometimes it can actually be really emotional because we all feel it.
It's always a slightly different energy. So every batch that comes in is actually getting a different energy.
Yeah.
The batch will be carrying a different energy in the first place. We'll be carrying a different energy that we're putting into it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like 2 batches ago, super emotional. Like everybody was crying. Like we'd done our little breath work in the office, and I was like, right, everybody, we're going to bless the cacao. You guys go back to work. So we've just tuned in with eyes closed for about 45 minutes. Finished off. Thank you. Opened our eyes. You're all stood there crying. I was like, you're supposed to be at fucking work. Get to work. Stood there watching us bless. Got packing to do. But it was beautiful. Do you know what I mean? It was like really, really moving that everybody was like sucked into it. Because a lot of people, they just don't get that it's, oh, you blessed it, you charge you more because you blessed it. It's like, whoa, if you knew.
I know, but most people now understand sound healing and Reiki. So you kind of go, well, if they know that and they know that feels good in their body, well, that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just bringing that energy through. I'm like, well, all energy, like you say, you know, as soon as you start go in a room, if it doesn't feel right, you walk straight out.
Exactly, yeah.
So you wouldn't want any of that in the cacao. Like, yeah.
That's cool to talk about that, because I think that's a real kind of like little gem of understanding for people, that, you know, what we do in that ceremony is like we put all our energy into it, and people go, oh, what's your, it's like, well, no, I've been working with it for 12 years. It's everything that I've done. It's all the courses I've done, all the yoga I've studied, all the learning that I've done, all the past life stuff, all the lineage, everything that Keith's done. Do you know what I mean? You're pushing all that in, and you're pushing in this kind of like this want for people to awaken to the best version of themselves, this want of this real kind of commitment to wanting people to be living their life purpose, and, you know, to be empowered, for women to step out of anything that's, you know, bogging them down, and to really blossom. It's for everybody to blossom into the human being that they're supposed to be, for everybody to be experiencing bliss, and you know, to be feeling that molecule, and to be going, oh, I like that, and like, how do I get more of that in my life? Oh, I change that in my life, I shift that. And Lady Cacao is balancing everything out that's out of alignment in your body. It's trying to bring you into this harmonious frequency.
And also when you are working with it more, that it's not to say things kind of don't go wrong, but things don't happen, but it's your reaction to that.
Yeah.
I feel like cacao helps with that as well, that it's okay saying you'll be full of bliss. I go, it's more, how do you respond? The more that you work with bliss and love, essentially, the more that you understand your body because of that. But if something does come your way that's difficult to deal with, it's your response to it and your reaction to it, and you go, oh, actually, it's okay to not lose myself.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I go, actually, that's probably one of the biggest things I've seen you evolve, and me. I go, oh God, everything really is okay.
Softer, yeah.
We're going to be okay. Actually, the more you know you're going to be okay, the more you enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't take life seriously.
Have fun.
I go, can you imagine if you did Dragon's Den like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have worked, would it?
No.
I'm You were meant to go when you did, because of everything you've just said, all of the evolution and the time it's took to get to know cacao.
Yeah, but like, you knew me when I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't know what to do. I need to, everything's fucked. I was in panic all the time.
In panic, beg, stealing, borrowing, like running away, depressed. Yeah, all of that. But you that's the human nature, isn't it? You kind of, you don't want to shy away from that, because how are you going to learn if you don't have that in parts of your life? You can't evolve, can you?
Yeah. So, any words of wisdom for any women watching this that are going through kind of like, don't feel like they're in a good place at the moment, and they want a little bit of inspiration?
Drink cacao.
Yes. Full power cacao, please. No, drink whatever cacao you feel aligned to. My words of wisdom are, from what I do every day,
because I ring you and say this, go on a sanity stroll, get out in nature, simplify it all, like simplify your life, because I think that panic comes from where you're either wanting to run away from something, or you're not seeing the bigger, you're not seeing the bigger picture of it. So this is the other thing with menopause. All the symptoms are supposed to be things that you've never looked at in the past. So it's just revealing itself again. So it's like, okay, how can I change my perspective and look at it with new eyes, and then just simplify everything. I'm like, you just start to introduce little rituals
Self-love,
in the morning.
baths.
Gratitude, like gratitude practice. We do that together in the morning. Gratitude, cacao. Get out, literally sniff the air.
Move your body as well.
Sniff
Let's
the
talk about
air.
dance, actually, because dance is well important to you.
Oh yeah, and you. It was.
Yeah, I'm not. You're getting fucking interviewed, not me.
Well, that's how we started Stone Cold Sober, though.
Dancing. Why is dancing so important to you?
Oh, it takes you out of your head.
Yeah.
Instantly. Takes you out of your head into your body. And there's that kind of, maybe it's my generation, it's that remembrance of
Raving.
Of raving. When that was another way of connecting with the spiritual.
Yeah,
We just didn't know it.
Yeah, we had to do it through chemicals then.
Yeah. But actually it was the dancing.
Yeah.
It was the dancing that did it. Just moving your body, moving and shifting energy. Like just can shift you out of any state.
Yeah. So I mean, moving your body, shaking, for me, cold water, getting in the cold water.
Yeah.
Game changer, dopamine hit, boom. It's like, doing a little fucking bump of something. Good. It's like, whoa, yeah, ready, love it.
Yeah, yeah, cold water's another one.
Yeah. We've done a lot of that, haven't we, Joanna Barnes?
Yeah.
Sweet. All good.
All good.
Right, so if people want to get wombed up, where do they go to find you?
Wild Woman website, www.the-wildwomen.com.
And what about your socials?
My Instagram is Joanna Barnes, Wild Woman.
Okay. Anything else? Anywhere else anyone wants to get hold of you? Should I give everyone your phone number so you can get loads of random calls off people?
No, please, let's not do that. Because when your company's called The Wild Women, you get lots of men.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have thought about that.
Yeah.
Put your mind to it, put your grind to it. You can do it. Thank you for being on the Full Power podcast. Joanna Barnes from Oldham. We love you with all our heart, and you'll always be part of the tribe, the family, and you're a really important part of everything that we do. We love you. Blessings.
Thank you.